Welcome, everyone, to our Fireside Chat. We are so excited to be bringing back one of our most popular live streams on social media. Ashley Cooper is here. She is our transition specialist, and I am Sam Huffman, the social media manager here at the ECU STEPP program. Ashley, I'll let you take it away to introduce yourself.
All right. As Sam said, I am Ashley Cooper. I'm the transition specialist for the STEPP program, and I'm excited for our new semester of Fireside Chats. And I guess let's go ahead and get started, Sam.
Okay.
All right. Tonight on our Fireside Chat, this is going to be an overview of all the information in regards to the STEPP program and our services, and hopefully answer some application questions as well. So we're going to start with our ECU STEPP program staff. We have Mr. Adam Denny, who is our director of the STEPP program. He's in charge of our overall vision and leadership for the program. He provides guidance to our students and our staff, and he also oversees our research overlay. He collaborates with our external partners at the university and also helps with sustaining and developing STEPP. So those are the duties of Mr. Denny. Me, as a transition specialist, I'm in charge of the incoming cohort of students at STEPP. So one cool thing to note about STEPP is that students apply really early to our program during their junior year of high school. And I support those students with a transition curriculum during their senior year of high school. So it helps bridge that gap between high school and college, and it helps them get acclimated to coming here to the university. I also help with the recruitment for the program. So if you're interested in STEPP, I will be your contact person for any prospective student and family. And then also I help with the application process, so actually applying to the STEPP program. And then last but certainly not least, we have Dr. Danielle Dietz, who is our instructional specialist for the program. And she's in charge of the ongoing daily interactions with students here at the program. So she's in charge of our STEPP curriculum. So we have our own curriculum to help assist students with academic strategies. She also helps students with developing skills and strategies to support them with being successful in their classes here at the university. And she's also a co-advisor for students in STEPP. So another cool thing about the STEPP program is that each student has two advisors. They have their academic advisor, and then they have Dr. Dietz as their co-advisor, and she gets to know each student personally and gets to know their learning style to help support them with their success here at the university.
And Ashley, I want to mention before we just continue, if you are joining us, welcome to our Fireside Chat. We're so happy to bring this series back for our 2025 application season opening. If you do have questions, please leave them in the comments. This is your time where you can ask Ashley questions about STEPP, ECU, and she'll be able to answer them right here and now. And if you're rewatching this video ever later and you have questions, you can still leave them in the comments and we'll be notified and we can respond to you as soon as possible. So Ashley, I will go ahead and go to the next slide for you.
All right. Thank you, Sam. All right. So one question that I get a lot when I'm traveling and recruiting for the program is, what's STEPP? So STEPP stands for Supporting Transition and Education Through Planning and Partnerships. So our program, we are a comprehensive academic program that supports students with learning disabilities here at ECU. So those diagnoses or the population that we specifically serve, the students have a disability either in reading, which is dyslexia, written expression, which is dysgraphia, or math disorder, which is dyscalculia. And students must have that documented learning disability in order to qualify for the STEPP program. So in addition to, and to help you understand the supports that we have at STEPP, we offer students mentors. So students have to meet with a mentor at least once a week. Students have tutors on staff. So we do have an English writing tutor that's on staff. We have a science tutor that's on staff. And then we also have a math tutor that's on staff. And then students are required to do study hall hours. And that's a requirement that's kind of built into their STEPP curriculum with Dr. Dietz. So students are required that first year coming in to do 15 hours of study hall. So they get to interact with those mentors and tutors during that study hall period. And that's how we have that really robust, comprehensive support for the program. So that's just a little overview of what STEPP is. And please let me know if you have any questions as we go throughout. Of course, we're going to have a continuation of a series of Fireside Chat, so we will be answering more questions and you'll be able to learn more about the program in the upcoming events. On the next slide, we wanted to mention some of our treasured STEPP facts. So a lot of things related to STEPP, and then also the university as well. So 94% of our students, so first year to second year retention rate. So the students coming in for that first year to second year, we have a 94% retention rate. Here at ECU, we have 86 different majors that students can choose from. And reason why we highlight this is because in the STEPP program, we don't restrict any majors. So students have the option of choosing whichever major they want to major in, and Dr. Dietz helps them down that path alongside their other academic advisor. We have an 84% graduation rate for the students in the STEPP program. Each year, we only accept 10 students, so we do have a separate application process that's different from ECU. So students actually apply to ECU before they apply to the STEPP program. So they apply to the STEPP program before they actually apply to ECU. So during their junior year, they apply to the STEPP program. And then there are no additional fees that are associated with the STEPP program. So as long as you are paying your ECU tuition, all of the services through STEPP are free.
And Ashley, we do have one question that did come in on X. What's the national rate? I see that we have an 84% graduation rate. So is that the national rate, or is that ECU's rate? What's that?
So the national rate in terms of students with learning disabilities graduating would be 41%. And so our rate is a little bit, well, really higher than that. And I think it's really, it's and cohesiveness to how all those academic supports work really well for our students in the program, and how we build those close relationships with students so we are able to individualize their transition as they navigate through the program. So I definitely think those things contribute to our graduation rate being really higher than the national rate.
A very impactful number. And if you're just now joining us, or if you've been watching, welcome to our Fireside Chat. You can drop your questions in the comments. Ashley will answer them right here and now, which is so cool that we have this technology that we can do this. So don't be afraid. No question is too big or too small. I'll go ahead to the next slide, Ashley.
All right, no problem. All right, so we have a new website tool that helps students understand when they actually have to apply to the STEPP program. So one big question that I get a lot is, when do I actually apply? So if you have this question, I challenge you to go to our website, stepp.ecu.edu/apply. On the apply page, you can scroll down to our new website tool, and it lets you select when you're graduating for high school. So when you select the tool when you're graduating from high school, it lets you go through a drop-down menu. And on that drop-down menu, it lets you select your graduation year. Once you select your graduation year, it gives you a little synopsis of where you are in terms of the application timeline. So if you are a 2024 student, our application window has closed. However, you still can reach out to me, and I can tell you about other resources that we have here at the university. So I can definitely share other resources, even though you're thinking about coming into the university during the 2024 year. Currently, we are on the 2025 cycle. So this is great news to those students that are graduating in the spring of 2025, because you are right on track to apply to the program right now. Our application is now open. It opened on December the 19th, and it's going to close on May 15th of this year. So if you are a junior out there and you're thinking about applying to STEPP, this is your time. And so you can go through and select wherever you're graduating, and it'll give you a synopsis. So a student that's graduating in 2028, of course, is a little too early, but you still can reach out to our program, and I will definitely help guide you. I actually challenge a lot of our students to actually think about coming to ECU at different transition points. So even if you're a freshman or in the 9th grade in high school and you're thinking about college, I definitely challenge you to come visit ECU during that time. And each year, because as you visit and as you get to your timeline of actually coming to college, your perspective changes, and you definitely think about things in unique ways each time you visit your college. So if you're thinking about coming to the STEPP program, your year is 2025. So we're on that 2025 cohort.
That's a really cool tool, Ashley. I think it's something people can greatly utilize. Very unique to STEPP to have such a tool like that. We're always a step above, I guess you could say.
I love it. All right. So in line to visiting ECU and STEPP, we do have an upcoming open house this Friday. So if you have not signed up for open house, I challenge you to go to our website now and book an appointment to visit us on Friday at 2 p.m. If not, we do have some other open house events available to students. So we do offer in-person and virtual events. So if you're not able to actually come onto campus, I do hold virtual events, and I also hold information sessions for families and students. So if you come to our website and notice that a date is not up there, or if it doesn't coincide with your schedule, we challenge you to reach out to us, and I will try to find a date to work with you. I like to try to do both in person and virtual, and each session looks different. So every session that you attend at the STEPP program looks a little different. We share the same information, but overall, you're getting a different experience each time you visit us. And then January 23rd, I'm holding a virtual open house for students at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're thinking about visiting STEPP, I also challenge you to book a tour with the university. I try to make sure the times for the ECU STEPP tour can rotate so that you are able to book a tour with ECU either in the morning or the afternoon. So that's why you'll see that those times rotate between the 9 and the 2. So you're able to book that time to actually visit ECU and get a ECU campus tour as well, in addition to a STEPP tour. So the reason I challenge students to get that ECU tour is because we want to make sure you understand all of your surroundings, because STEPP is only a small part of ECU, and we want to make sure you enjoy the university as well, which is a fantastic campus to be on. All right, so as I said, our 2025 application is now open. So high school juniors, you can go ahead to our website and start the application process. Definitely, if you have any questions about the application process, just reach out to me and I can help support you with the application. We also have a new section on our website that's called Prepare to Apply. And you can see there we list out a couple of things to get you jump started into your application. So one of those things is making sure you're graduating by 2025, making sure you have a current psychoeducational evaluation on file. So one of those things you would need for your application is to submit that document. So we do follow the criteria set by Disability Support Services. So having that psychological on file is really important so that you will receive accommodations in the college setting. We also challenge you to make sure that you meet ECU's minimum course requirements. So ECU has updated their course requirements on their ECU admissions website. So I do challenge you to use that link and visit that website so that you know those updated high school courses. And then one thing that you have to do for the STEPP program is write an essay. What makes our essay a little bit different from other applications is that you have to submit your drafts and your final essay. So going onto our website to see those essay prompts that you have to respond to, and making sure that you are keeping up with all your drafts. So making sure if you're handwriting your drafts, you have those available so you can submit those as well. And then to help you with that process, I do host application workshops. So I do have an upcoming workshop on the 18th and the February 28th. So these workshops are there for you to ask any questions that you may have, ask you about your specific transition point. So in terms of if you've started your application, if you've got stuck and you need a return code, getting all that assistance right there live. I can answer those questions in that information session with you and answer those questions live with you, and also take you step by step through the application if you need any support with that. So I definitely challenge each and every one of you, if you're thinking about the application or if you've started the application, to visit our application workshop and schedule some time to meet with me. All right. In addition to supporting you with the application, we have created a checklist and an application guide. I will say our application guide is very comprehensive. It's a lot of information, but we've taken the time to break it down on our website so you're able to click through certain portions that you have questions about. We've also started to update tutorials, videos to help support you with that process as well. The checklist gives you the option to write down your return codes at the bottom. So if you're having trouble keeping up with your return codes, the applications checklist is a great tool for you to organize that information in one space, and you're able to type that in, or you're able to print it out and write that information down so that you're able to go back into your application once you start. So these are two great resources to keep you on track to understanding all the application materials that you have to submit. You do have to submit your high school transcript and report card, your ACT or SAT scores, documentation of your accommodations, your essay. So you have your final draft and the drafts of your essay. You need 2 teacher recommendations from core academic courses. You need either your accommodation plan or IEP or 504. And then, of course, that psychoeducational evaluation with your learning disabilities diagnosis. And those are a few of the application materials that you would need on hand. And the checklist lays that information out on one page. So it's really cool that you can have all the information at your iSource in one click of a button. So if you do have any questions about STEPP, make sure you visit our website. We have updated our website with all of this information and made it easier to navigate. Also by contacting us by phone if you're or email. So you can email me at stepp@ecu.edu if you don't have my personal email. And either way, it'll come straight to me, and I can answer any question that you may have about the STEPP program. All right, so here's my email and phone number. So if you do have any questions, here are 2 ways that you can get in contact with me. And then, Sam, do we have any questions out there?
Not at the moment. We do have people that are watching. So if you've just joined us, welcome to our Fireside Chat. You can still ask your questions. We're on until 6 o'clock, so we have about 10 more minutes. So if you have a question, drop it in the chat. Ashley will answer it here right now. It can be about the STEPP program, East Carolina University. Maybe you're rewatching this live stream later after it's already aired. Did you know that you can actually still leave your questions in the comments? You sure can. We can still get back to you via private message, so no worries there. But if you do have questions, go ahead, leave them in the comments and we'll answer them for you right here and now. This is something that's really neat about our Fireside Chats. It gives us the opportunity to answer the public's questions live. Ashley, though, while we monitor the chat, there is a question that we have received in our past Fireside Chats. That's a really good question, and that is, why do students apply during their junior year of high school to STEPP instead of their senior year?
That's a great question. So, students that apply to the STEP program apply during their junior year because during their senior year of high school, I actually support the students that get admitted into the program with a transition curriculum. So, and their entire senior year is built with tools and strategies to help support them once they transition into ECU. So, we're trying to jumpstart that transition as early as senior year. So, that's the reason students apply during their junior year. So it gives them the opportunity to get that transition curriculum. Also, we do have a couple of supports. So not only do we have the transition curriculum, we have a virtual boot camp that students do that's included in that transition curriculum to help them get acclimated to some things here at the university, get acclimated to requesting their accommodations through disability support services, acclimated to STEP services. So getting used to that transition from high school to college and thinking about how those dynamics change in terms of the supports and the way students are supported. And then also we have a actual physical boot camp that students get to do as well. So students come onto campus a lot earlier than other students, so they get to kind of jump start into understanding the dynamics of college before any student here at the university actually starts that transition. So that is the reason for that early application process.
Makes a lot of sense. I think it's a neat part to the STEP program of making that bridge between high school and college, because there is a difference between the two. And STEP's whole mission, their curriculum, the knowledge behind it is truly really really good, and benefits many students. I think it goes back to that 84% graduation rate right there. Another question that we have also received in the past, again, if you are joining us, leave your questions in the comments. We'll answer them right here and now. We have just a few more minutes. Um, is the SAT/ACT, is it required for the STEP program's application?
So if you are on our application guide, you will note that we do say it's required. However, you probably know that ECU for 2023 and 2024 had test optional admission statuses for the ACT and SAT. I cannot tell you in 2025 if ECU will be in the same predicament in terms of test optional. So I always encourage students to actually take the SAT and ACT so that they have that in their tool belt just in case those things are a requirement for that upcoming year that they're thinking about coming into that fall semester of 2025. So although I can't tell you what will be the actual predicament in terms of if ECU will require the SAT or ACT at this time, I would definitely encourage you to go ahead and apply, because there could be other programs that you're thinking about applying to, or other colleges or universities that you're applying to that do have that requirement of the SAT and ACT. So that's the reason why we want students to take it. However, I will say, we have the on our website, we do mention the fact that if you have not taken the SAT or ACT during 2025, and if you're not scheduled to take it, it's not going to count against your application. I will say that if it does become a requirement of ECU during that 2025 cohort year, you probably will have to have that requirement completed before you're actually admitted into the university. So that's another reason it's easier to have all your eggs in one basket and make sure you have those tests done before you actually come into the program. And it ensures that you have that smooth transition in terms of timeline and with applying to ECU.
Yeah, always best just to be prepared in the end. Um, let's see. We don't have check the comments area just to make sure. Don't see anything right now. We just have about 5 more minutes, Ashley, until we'll wrap things up. But if you still are with us right now, I can see there still are viewers. You can drop your questions in the comments. Ashley will answer them right here now. Again, there is no question that is too big or too small. That is what we're here for. We're here to answer your questions. And maybe you don't have one right now, but maybe you do down the road. You can come back to this video, leave your question in the comments field, and we can private message you from there to answer your question. We'll also have more fireside chats throughout all the way up through May. actually. So they'll be on all of our social medias. We're actually going to have some also on Instagram as well. So there's multiple opportunities to get your questions answered there. And maybe it's a more personal question, and that's okay. You can email Ashley. Her email is right there on the screen. It's a great way if you have some maybe a little more personal, or if you just feel more comfortable that way, that's okay. So you can email Ashley through there. And then let me also put back up the slides. Her phone number is also there, 252 2275. Again, 252-737-2275. Ashley, let's do one more question. I'll still monitor the chat because we do have people still on. Another question we've gotten in the past from our fireside chats is, do you apply to the STEPP program or to ECU first?
Okay, that's a great question. So, if you are thinking about the STEP program, you will actually apply to the STEP program first. So, we do have a separate application process that's different from ECU's, and we do have a separate admissions process in terms of separate from ECU as well. So, you apply to STEP. And then from there, later on, closer to the timeline of when you actually get accepted into STEP, you would apply to the university formally. But we do have that separate application process. And then also thinking about it, we do have that early application process in terms of students apply early to our program during their junior year of high school. So right now we are on the 2025 cohort. So we are accepting applications up to May 15th of 2024.
Thank you very much. Again, if you are thinking about applying to the ECU STEP program, you do have to be a high school junior in order to apply to the 2025 cohort. That's the application that's now open. And you can go to our website, step.ecu.edu/apply. You'll see right there at the bottom of your screen where you can go. And I'll also drop it into the chat as well. Let me put that in there real quick. Apply here. Let me do this. Apply today at step.ecu.edu/apply. Just for ECUs, if you want to click on that and be immediately directed. Let's do one more really quick question, Ashley, and then we will wrap things up for our first fireside chat. Let's see. Another question we had got was, do I need foreign language to attend ECU?
All right, that is a great question. I get that question a lot. And I will say my answer has changed a little bit since the last time I probably did a fireside chat. And the reason my answer has changed is because ECU has updated their admissions requirements. So I will challenge you to actually visit their website. And if you do have questions about their new required high school courses, admissions would be the person to contact. So students can have so the original plan was the 4 English, the 4 math, 3 science, 2 social studies, and then the 2 foreign language. But now ECU has updated the requirements that students can have additional coursework and other core classes. And I definitely will challenge you to ask ECU admissions specific questions about those required classes that they're taking instead of those 2 foreign language classes. And visiting our website, if you go to step.ecu.edu/apply, you will see that we have a section that says prepare to apply, and that's prepare to apply to STEP. However, we do have a link there for the minimum course requirements that you would need to actually apply to the university. So on that website, you can visit that information and see if you're meeting those requirements. And also you can go there to get to ECU admissions so that you're able to contact them if you do have any questions regarding those required high school classes and how they've changed.
Good to know. Again, it always goes to show always stay up to date because things change very quickly. All right, so Ashley, that does it for our first fireside chat for the 2025 cohort application. Thank you to everyone who joined. And again, if you're rewatching this and you have some questions, you can still drop it in the comments field. We can send you a private message and respond to your question. or you can email Ashley as well. All of her contact information is on our website, including how you can apply to the STEPP program at stepp.ecu.edu. That's stepp.ecu.edu. I'm Sam Huffman, and that is Ashley Cooper for our Fireside Chat. Thank you for joining us, and go Pirates.